Well, hi. Thanks for joining me. I'm Rhonda. Welcome to my channel, Eyes That See with Rhonda. I wanted to talk about something that's been weighing on me. I stayed up late. I couldn't sleep, actually. I was in prayer, and the Lord kind of impressed upon me to share a bit of my testimony um, to maybe combat some of the. This is a warning to ladies, single mothers, women that are trying to date, get back into the dating game. And I've seen a lot on social media where there are women saying, they won't date a guy unless he's a high value man, having at least six figures and can spend this and take them there. That's, ladies, that's not a high value man. There's a lot of men out there that will, they have the means, they have the money. I've dated men with, a lot of means and money, but there was something, and I'm not saying all the men, but there's definitely, uh, I've ran into some people that had bad intentions, and it was, I don't know if I want to say that they thought maybe I was just, I, just somebody to pick through, or I just, I was always Um, I've partied in the world. I partied. I was fun. I had fun. I had good times. I didn't really think a lot of things through. I was kind of naive. And when I grew up, there was some trauma. There was some abuse. There were some things that I went through. And I guess maybe that had something to do with the decisions that I'd make. Because I was very kind of carefree and nonchalant about dating. If you look good, and at a point, I did like men with means that had money, athletes, lawyers, celebrities, musicians, things like that. I would date men with means. Again, this was you know when I was in the world, and but these men, some were kind, granted, some were very sinister. So be very careful. It's not about chasing the bag and the high value man. A high value man has character that has integrity. He values you. He loves God. He will be a man that would pray with you and pray for you. And see, our sometimes we don't come from households where we have parents or mothers that teach us and instill in us what how valuable we are and how we should see ourselves of value, so that when we pray and we seek a partner, we'll also see the value in us and know that it goes far beyond anything that any material possession can. It's better than a Birkin bag. It's better than a Chanel dress. It's those items. They're not your soul. They're not who you are. You can't take that with you. That Birkin, you can't. What are you gonna get buried in a Birkin? Because sometimes these men are they're sinister. They have thoughts, especially, and they have plans. And if you don't think men, they do sometimes. There are men out there that kind of scheme on single women. They kind of scheme on single mothers. And you may think, oh, this is a wonderful man. He has a nice car, he makes great money, and he seems so nice, and he really likes my kids, and he doesn't have any kids, and wow, this is great. I finally get some help. You're thinking all your prayers are being answered, when really that guy might be kind of trying to slide his way because then he can have access to your children. And you don't want to think that way, but you have to start being smart and realizing that everybody is not safe to be around your children. That you have to protect yourself, because everybody does not have good intentions for you, regardless of what kind of car they pull up in, regardless of the job that they have, or the money in the bank that they have, or that they're financed and they're the best looking thing ever. That doesn't mean anything. The devil is he comes as the most beautiful angel, and he, believe me, can show up in the most gorgeous ways. And you may think, oh, because his appearance is this and he has all these things, he couldn't be the monster that he truly is. And the greatest trick the devil ever played in this world was trying convincing the world that he never existed. And he exists, and he's around, and he is in a lot of there's a lot of demonic activity going on in this world at this time. And ladies, just be guarded, be aware, be mindful, be prayerful, look for the right things, pray about it. Don't just go after him because he has a really great car and he's very successful and he can do these things and he can spoil you. There's a price. They don't say you you get nothing for free. So all of those social media girls, there's a price you pay. There's something you endure. There's something you're sacrificing. You're not going to blare it out on, social media fake world, but your soul knows, your heart knows, and God knows what you've suffered, and God knows what you've went through, so that you can smile brightly and show off your bags and tell everybody how your life is so perfect and great. No, it's not. You're convincing yourself of something because you know what you had to do to get what you have and what you had to sacrifice. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So just be very cautious. I've been on the wrong end, and I'm not speaking anything I don't know. I've been on the wrong end several times. I've met men that were charming, dazzling, amazing. They spoiled you. They treated you like gold. You thought they were wonderful. Took you great places. You got to meet influential people. Everybody thought they were amazing. And then you realize when you're alone, this is an absolute monster and I can't get out of here. I'm stuck. What do I do? And you just go through things that you should never go through because you didn't think things through. You didn't see the big picture that everybody is not nice. This world is not nice. This world can be cruel. And there are evil, wicked people that prey on you. They prey on your naivety, your ability to not think and only see the bling. They think that's great. They're like, oh great, I got one of those. Be smart, think things through, do your research with these online things. Don't just go with anybody. Don't just go anywhere because he's got a nice car or meet him at his house. Be smart. This could be the last date you go on. You have to you can read the news. There was a young lady that went on a date and she never came home and ended up the guy cut her up like it was the sickest thing I've ever heard. He dismembered her body and literally left parts and then burned her car. I mean, the most callous, wicked, evil. So that's a demonic, sick evil that we're dealing with in this world. So you have to know that's out there, and it's out there running through these people. So don't leave yourself and leave your babies exposed to any harm. Just be very careful. Don't just think because it looks great, because he has this, that everything's wonderful. Sometimes these very wealthy people pay a very high price for their wealth. And there are things that they have to do that they suffered from. So they've become desensitized. They've become completely shut off from things emotionally where you may think because they put on a front, because they show you one side that just seems amazing, you may think, oh, everything looks great. But in reality, you're dealing with somebody who's completely not as they seem. And I just want to give you, younger generation, young ladies, that understanding from someone who has not, I've I've made wrong choices, and only by the grace of God am I still here. I should be dead. I should have been dead, killed, left for dead, and but somehow God always spared me. God always kept me. Um, and I don't deserve his grace or mercy, but somehow he gave it to me. But I want to warn young ladies, I want you to know that there is a real danger out there lurking. There are really bad people out there, and they parade on these apps. They parade around like they're not. They parade around like they're perfect and they're everything you want. They're the finance guys. They're the 6 foot whatever. They parade. It's not. Everything that glitters is not gold, and it's not worth it. What you have, be grateful for. What they do sometimes to get what they have is nothing you'd ever want to do or be a part of. And when you see some of the things that they've had to do and they're subjected to, and they were subjected because it comes through their family so that they have these things, you'll want no parts of that. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that warning. I pray that it reaches whoever so they can have more discernment and understanding when going out and being in the world, um, and trying to live that life. Just be very cautious and know that every time you are out, you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk, and don't risk your babies. Don't leave these your children alone with these strange men. Don't leave them alone with people you don't know. Talk to your babies. Ask them how they feel. Ask them if they're okay. Ask them, question them, but don't leave don't leave your children, don't leave your babies around any strangers or even dates, boyfriends. No, they're not. You can't. You have to be careful because you don't know how people are. You don't even know their temperament. Sometimes it's not even like a a grape type situation. Sometimes they're not well. They get angry. So when babies cry, they can't deal with it and they get angry and they do bad things and they hurt your children. So just no, just don't do that. Um, it's not worth it. So that's my those are my thoughts, and I wanted to just let the young ladies know that I understand it's hard. I was a single mom. I know it's difficult. Um, I've been married. I've been divorced. I've been married. I'm currently divorced again. But I know you want to date, you want to get back out there, but you have to be careful because all these people are not what they seem, and they do that on purpose so they can gain a connection to you and gain access to you, and by you just only seeing the bling, you may be missing some key red flag indicators to show you that this person may not be a good person. They might want to do you harm. And they purposely sometimes go on those apps for different things. They're very creative and sneaky. I had one person break into my like he broke into my like how he could get into my phone. He did something with my phone. Then he did something with my apps, and he could like call me, and it was just really really strange. And he knew where I was at, and he could tell me what I was wearing, and it was very strange. Yeah, uh, it's very strange. You have to be careful with technology and people, and these people aren't necessarily in their right minds. Something's going on with them, so you have to be very careful. Um, but that was my spiel. I hope that this gives you some insight and you maybe think twice when you're just running towards the bag because there's more important things. Breathing is more important than chasing the bag. Being able to wake up the next morning to thank God that you have another day is more important than just chasing the bag or getting the high value man. You are more important than material things. You're more precious than gold. And I want you to realize that because God sees you and He loves you and He knows your value is worth more than a Chanel purse or dress or Birkin bag or whatever people are into these days. You're valuable. You're loved. You're worth it. treat yourself like you deserve to be respected, loved, and appreciated. That's what I have to say. I hope you stay encouraged. Until next time, goodbye.